Magandang tanghali po sa ating mga kababayan at sa mga miyembro ng Malacañang Press Corps. Humarap si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte para sa kanyang regular Monday Talk to the People address kahapon. Ito po ang ilan sa naging highlights. Masayang binalita ng Pangulo na better days ahead dahil sa pagbaba ng kaso ng COVID-19 sa bansa. Nagpasalamat din ang Pangulo sa mga doktor at mga volunteer sa katatapos lamang na matagumpay na National COVID-19 Vaccination Days kung saan mahigit na 10 milyong doses ang na-administer mula November 29 hanggang December 3. Kaugnay nito, binanggit niya na magkakaroon ng second round ang bayanihan bakunahan mula December 15 hanggang December 17. Inanunsyo rin ng Pangulo ang pagsisimula ng pilot limited face-to-face classes sa 28 paaralan sa Metro Manila, subject to observance of strict safety and health protocols. Nagkaroon din ng presentasyon si Father Nick Austriaco tungkol sa current assessment ng COVID-19 situation sa Pilipinas. Ayon sa kanya, ang Pilipinas ay may substantial population immunity from natural infections and vaccinations. Ito po ang datos. We have the most infectious variant, the Delta variant, in 20 months. We also now have the highest mobility levels in the past months. And yet, we have the lowest level of cases and hospitalizations in the past 20 months. This, in our view, is a testament to the contributions of everyone, from our frontliners down to each individual involved in the country's efforts to contain COVID-19 and to prevent its spread. Sa inyong lahat, maraming salamat po. Meanwhile, the Philippines leaped to 57th place in November from 103rd in October ayon sa 2021 Nikkei Asia COVID-19 Recovery Index. According to the Tokyo-based publication, we are better off compared to Australia, United States, Thailand, Russia, Singapore, Germany, Switzerland, and Vietnam. As we previously stated, rankings such as these should factor in country-specific COVID-19 context. Our 121st September and 103rd October rankings were done when the Philippines was experiencing a spike of cases brought about by the Delta variant. This latest Nikkei Asia COVID-19 Recovery Index is a clear indication that we have successfully contained the highly transmissible Delta variant. That being said, we urge our people to remain vigilant, especially during the holiday season, when everyone is looking forward to seeing their loved ones. Totoo po, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the only way we can get to the end is if we continue to carefully watch our steps. Ituloy po natin ang mask wearing, paghugas ng kamay, ang social distancing, at ang pagbabakuna. Let us do this not just for ourselves, but especially for our loved ones. Meron pa pong good news. The Philippines has improved its ranking in the 2021 Global Hunger Index with a score of 16.8 compared to 25.0 in year 2000, 20.4 in 2006, and 20.5 in 2012. The Philippines now ranks 8th among the 21 economies in South Asia, East Asia, and Southeast Asia. The Global Hunger Index uses 4 indicators, namely undernourishment, child wasting, child stunting, and child mortality. Kung inyong matatandaan, nilagdaan ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte noong 2018 ang 2 malagang batas para matugunan ang mga bagay na ito. Una, ang Republic Act No. 11037 o ang Masustansyang Pagkain para sa Batang Pilipino Act, kung saan inaatasan ang mga ahensya ng pamahalaan na magpatupad ng National Feeding Program para sa mga undernourished na mga bata. Pangalawa, ang Republic Act No. 11148 o ang Kalusugan at Nutrisyon ng Magnanay Act o mas kilala bilang First 1,000 Days Law, kung saan inaatasan ang Department of Health, ang National Nutrition Council at iba pang ahensya na tiyaking makakatanggap ng maternal, neonatal, child health, and nutrition service sa first 1,000 days of life. Clearly, these measures have had an impact in addressing the areas of concern cited by the Global Hunger Index. Kaugnay sa issue na ito, we are encouraged by the results of the third quarter 2021 Social Weather Station's SWS survey, which show a decline of Filipino families experiencing involuntary hunger, which dropped from a high of 30.7% in September of 2020 to 10% in September of 2021, or a decrease of 20.7% from the same period last year. The current figures is likewise the lowest registered during the pandemic. Malinaw pong palatandaan ito. The strategies we have in place and the interventions being undertaken by your government are working. Maraming salamat sa inyong patuloy na suporta at pakikipagtuwang. While we have implemented lockdowns and restrictions to curb the spread of coronavirus, we have nonetheless allowed people to work, permitted businesses to operate, and deployed a vaccination rollout that has resulted in reduced hunger and reduced poverty. We have also implemented hunger mitigation strategies, which include the distribution of financial assistance or cash aid to eligible households in areas with the most stringent lockdowns. We attribute the drop in self-rated hunger in September 2021 to efforts to ensure the safety of our people while reviving the economic health of our nation. The progress made in reducing hunger, in our view, is consistent and dovetails with this year's third quarter economic growth of 7.1%. While there has been a marked improvement in the number of those who experience hunger, we recognize that more work needs to be done to return hunger to pre-pandemic levels and even lower. As the concurrent head of the government's Interagency Task Force on Zero Hunger, we have spearheaded the Enhanced Partnership Against Hunger and Poverty, or EPAP. Ang layunin ng EPAP ay matugunan ang kagutuman, tiyakin ang seguridad sa pagkain at nutrisyon, at bawasan ang kahirapan sa mga komunidad. Hindi pa po tapos ang trabaho. Tuloy-tuloy pa po ito para lalo pang mapababa ang self-rated hunger sa ating bansa. To those who have helped in efforts to address hunger, sa mga kasaping ahensya ng gobyerno, mga LGU, mga international agencies, mga development partners, at mga kaibigan natin sa private sector, maraming salamat po. Sa usaping bakuna naman, dumating kagabi, December 6, ang 1,085,760 doses ng Pfizer vaccine na binili ng pamahalaan. Samantalang, noong hapon naman ay natanggap natin ang 1,497,200 doses ng government-procured Moderna vaccine. Pumunta naman tayo sa COVID-19 update. Nasa 543 ang mga bagong kaso ayon sa December 6, 2021 COVID-19 Case Bulletin ng Department of Health. Ito na ang 13th consecutive day na below 1,000 ang ating mga bagong kaso. Nananatiling mababa din ang positivity rate natin. Nasa 1.7% na lamang ito. Nasa 97.8% naman po ang porsyento ng gumaling. Nasa mahigit 2.7 million ang nakarecover, habang nasa 1.75% naman po ang ating fatality rate. Malungkot naming binabalita sa inyo na kahapon 113 ang naidagdag sa bilang ng mga pumanaw dahil sa coronavirus. Nasa below 30% naman po ang ating hospital utilization rate. On the economic front, there are reasons to be hopeful this coming new year. New York-based think tank Global Source Partners projected the economic growth of the Philippines to surpass the government's 4% target ceiling. Ang projection po nila ay 5.5%. It added, and I quote, "The Philippine economy withstood a Delta-driven surge in Q3 and is set to end the year on a high note." End of quote. Marami pa tayong magandang balita sa usapin ng ekonomiya. Inflation eased from 4.6% in October 2021 to 4.2% in November 2021. Bumaba ang presyo ng gulay, isda at karne. Ayon sa Philippine Statistics Authority, ang pagbaba ng inflation ay dahil sa pagbagal ng pagtaas ng presyo ng pagkain at non-alcoholic beverages index. Patuloy nating babantayan ang presyo ng bilihin, kasama na ang mga paborito ninyong Noche Buena products, lalo na ngayong papalapit na ang Kapaskuhan. Pagdating naman sa ating labor force, meron din tayong magandang balita. Ayon sa Philippine Statistics Authority, October 2021 Labor Force Survey, bumaba ang ating national unemployment rate mula 8.9% noong Setyembre 2021 to 7.4% noong Oktubre 2021. Dagdag pa ng Philippine Statistics Authority, mas dumami ang nagkaroon ng trabaho. Mula 39.84 million noong October of 2020, ito ay tumaas sa 43.83 million noong October 2021. Kung inyong matatandaan, nasa Alert Level 4 po tayo noong unang bahagi ng Oktubre, bago mag-relax sa Alert Level 3. At ngayon, na nasa Alert Level 2 po tayo, ay mas maraming industriya at negosyo ang nabuksan, kaya mas maraming trabaho ang madadagdag. To quote our economic managers, "The country's economic performance has exceeded expectations in 2021. The road ahead remains challenging, but we assure the Filipino people that we have all the elements in place to recover quickly and strongly from the pandemic and grow rapidly in the years to come." End of quote. Asahan ninyong habang patuloy na dumarami ang nagtatrabaho ay patuloy nating iingatan ang buhay sa pamamagitan ng pagpapaigting ng mask, hugas, iwas at syempre, bakuna. May good news din po tayo sa turismo. Kinilala ang Boho, isang barangay sa Aluginsan, Cebu, bilang isa sa best tourism villages in the world ng United Nations World Tourism Organization. 75 bansa ang nagsumite ng mahigit 170 nominasyon at ang Boho ang isa sa napili. Sa mga kababayan natin sa Boho, congratulations po, padayon kamo sa pag-uswag, mabuhay kamo, and God bless kamo diha sa Boho. So we will now go to questions from our friends from the media and MPC. Yusek Rocky, please do the honors.
Yes, good afternoon, Secretary Nograles. Ang una pong tanong mula po kay Mela Lesmoras ng PTV. Will President Duterte accept the invitation of Manila Mayor Moreno to join his senatorial lineup? Similar question with MJ Blanca Flor ng Daily Tribune, Chris Jose ng Remate Online, Rosa Licos ng UNTV, Trisha Terada ng CNN Philippines at Maricel Halini ng TV5.
Ito po'y patunay sa maraming nagawa ni Pangulong Duterte sa kanyang panunungkulan at sa marami niyang ginagawa at gagawin pa, at patunay ito sa kumpiyansa ng marami sa ating mga kababayan sa kanya na pagbinigyan po siya ng pagkakataon na makapagpatuloy ng kanyang serbisyo sa Senado ay maipagpatuloy niya ang lahat ng mga ito. Pero ayaw ko rin pong pangunahan kung ano ang mangyayari, no, sa susunod na araw at sa susunod na buwan, at ayaw ko rin pangunahan anong magiging desisyon ng ibang mga kandidato na tumatakbo at iba't ibang mga partido na nais pang mag-endorse kay Pangulong Duterte.
Opo. Second question mula po kay MJ Blanca Flor ng Daily Tribune. May we get Palace reaction on Mayor Isko Moreno's statement that he is willing to adopt President Duterte and his ticket? Similar question with Chris Jose na Remate, Rosa Licos ng UNTV, Trisha Terada ng CNN at Maricela Lini TV5.
Again, ayokong pangunahan ano may developments tungkol dyan. Sa mga political developments na yan, But siyempre, si Pangulong Duterte ay tumatakbo sa partido ng PDDS at sinusuportahan din po siya ng PDP Laban. Kung meron man mangyayari pagkatapos nito na mga pag-adapt or di kaya magkaroon ng alliances, ay ayoko pong pangunahan kung ano mangyari sa mga susunod pang mga araw at linggo at maging sa susunod na mga buwan.
Opo. Tanong naman ni Karen Lema ng Reuters, any reaction about po doon sa jailing ni Aung San Suu Kyi?
Opo, well, this is an internal matter, and this is part of their domestic affairs, and so we would rather not comment on the domestic affairs and processes of a sovereign state.
Thank you, Secretary.
Can we go to Mela Lesmoras ng PTV?
Hi, good afternoon, Secretary Nograles. Good afternoon, Yusek Rocky. Secretary Nograles, tanong ko lang po, una muna sa schedule ni Pangulong Duterte, kailan po kaya yung next talk to the people niya at ngayong nalalapit na Pasko at bagong taon, may mga naka-line up na po ba siyang activities?
Well, yung talk to the people niya is usually Mondays, So presumably magkakaroon na naman siya sa next week. I don't know if it will be a Monday or a Tuesday. But he has this weekly talk to the people. Of course, nothing stops the president kung gusto niya mag-talk to the people within the next few days this week. So abangan na lang po natin yung next announcements niya.
Opo. And Secretary Nograles, given the good numbers ngayon sa COVID-19 situation ng Pilipinas, kailan po kaya yung nakikita ng IATF na tamang panahon para maging alert level 1 na either yung NCR or iba pang panig ng bansa?
Well, we're monitoring Omicron very closely, at inaabangan din po namin kung ano yung magiging final na findings, mula sa WHO at mula sa ating mga health experts internationally as well, because everyone is monitoring kung ito bang Omicron is more fatal, Yun yung pinaka inaabangan natin, yung if it is more fatal, if it is more severe, if it is indeed more transmissible. So we still await the final word from the WHO. Samantalang fina-finalize rin po namin ano yung magiging final parameters natin for alert level 1. So right now, magkakaroon din kami ng meeting ng IATF sa Thursday. So abangan na lang po natin kung ano yung baka possibly may mga developments na pagdating ng Huwebes.
Opo. And panghuli na lamang po, Secretary Nograles, just a follow-up dun sa ibinahagi niyo pong ulat mula sa Nikkei Asia. Sa same report kasi, sinasabi rin doon na kahit talagang gumanda yung COVID-19 recovery ranking ng Pilipinas, nakasaad din na yung case fatality rate naman ng ating bansa ay second highest in the world. Do you agree po at ano po kayang masasabi natin dito? Paano kaya mapaiigting pa, mapabababa pa yung case fatality rate ng Pilipinas?
I think yung sa fatality rates po natin, ang dapat nating tingnan dyan yung month per month, yung mga nakikita natin na fatality reports, number of deaths per day, yung attribution yan is not necessarily death on that day itself. Meron po tayong tinatawag na late reporting or late attributions. So hindi po yan necessarily na pag ni-report yan on this day, those are deaths that occurred in this day. Sometimes those are deaths that occurred previously pero bago lamang na attribute sa COVID but does not or did not occur necessarily on that day. So ang dapat mong tingnan dyan really is the number of deaths pag na-attribute na siya kung anong date namatay yung tinamaan ng COVID-19. So dapat tingnan mo yung average deaths per month. And in November, I think the average death is very low. Mga 70 or 70 plus yan for the month of November, ang average deaths for November. So, again, hindi necessarily na pag sinabi at ni-report yung deaths on that day, hindi yan necessarily nung araw na yun namatay. It could be late attribution or late reporting.
Okay. Thank you so much, Secretary Nograles, Yusek Rock.
Yusek Rocky, for
Yes, thank you,
additional questions.
Mela. Opo. Secretary, mula po kay Jason Gutierrez ng NYT. Is the Philippines sending anyone to the U.S. government's Democracy Summit? May we know who, and if not, why so?
We'll defer that to the Department of Foreign Affairs to answer the question.
Opo. Second question, ni Laila Salaveria ng Inquirer, given Father Austriacos' statement that the country appears to have a substantial population immunity since it now has the lowest level of cases and hospitalizations, how likely is it that Metro Manila or other parts of the country will be placed under alert level 1 this month? Is this an option for December, or will the IATF maintain the alert level 2 out of caution?
Pinag-aralan pa namin and magkakaroon kami ng IATF meeting this Thursday para to assess, no? And hopefully we can get something more substantial from the WHO with regards sa Omicron. If not, then we have to continue yung pag-aaral ng IATF with regards sa anong mga final parameters natin sa alert level 1. Pero ayoko rin pangunahan ang IATF sa decision na yan, at ayoko rin pangunahan kung ano man ang magiging findings ng WHO with regards sa Omicron variant.
Opo. Mula kay Laila Salaveria, may pinahabol lang po siya. Secretary Duque says he prefers to be conservative and would rather keep alert level 2 this December. Does the palace agree?
Again, we will discuss that in the IATF this coming Thursday. Kasi the IATF necessarily being interagency, we have to get the inputs, no, from the different cabinet members and from the different agencies and departments also of government. Then we'll come up with a consensus decision.
Opo. From NJ Blanca Flor ng Daily Tribune, is there a last-ditch effort on the part of the ruling PDP Laban to convince Senator Bongo to push through with his candidacy?
Sa panig ng PDP Laban, we have always been supportive of Senator Bongo in his quest to be of service to the people. So kami po ay irespeto po namin anuman ang magiging desisyon ni Senator Bongo, especially but in support of his advocacies to serve the Filipino at pagserbisyo niya sa bansa at sa bayan, ay patuloy ang suporta ng PDP laban sa kanya.
Opo. From Rosalie Cos ng UNTV, ano po ang update sa susuportahang presidential candidate ni Pangulong Duterte sa 2022? Ano po ang hinihintay ng presidente bago siya magdesisyon?
Siyempre maraming win-away si Pangulong Duterte sa desisyon na yan. Pero talagang ang number one dyan, kung ano po at sino po ang makapaglingkod ng tunay sa ating bayan.
From Samed Danilla ng Business Mirror, napag-usapan na kaya sa IATF ang proposal ng House Committee on Labor to suspend the implementation of IATF Resolution 148B and 149 requiring vaccination for on-site workers? If yes, ano kaya ang naging desisyon ng IATF on the said request?
Alam mo, Yusek Rocky, we received reports na meron daw di umano nag-file ng case, no, nag-elevate ng kaso patungkol dyan sa issue at concern na yan. So kung totoo nga na meron na pong nag-file ng kaso on that issue and that concern, then mag-apply na po ang sub judice rule.
Opo. Mula pa rin po kay Samed Danilla ng Business Mirror, nakapag-submit na kaya ng projection model ang IATF Sub-Technical Working Group on data analytics ng potential impact ng Omicron? If yes, paano ito makakaapekto sa existing policies?
Abangan na lang po natin sa meeting ng IATF on Thursday kung handa na ba yung grupo na mag-present ng kanilang findings.
Opo. From Summit Manila pa rin ng Business Mirror, ano po ang palace reaction sa pag-slow down ng inflation rate last month to 4.2%?
Well, we join our economic managers in stating na meron po tayong mga policies and interventions that we have put in place and it appears to be working at patuloy rin po yung aming pagmamonitor ng mga presyo ng bilihin lalong-lalo na po ngayong panahon ng Kapaskuhan. This December and after December sa January, we will continue to monitor ang presyo ng mga bilihin to make sure na hindi lalong mahirapan ang ating mga kababayan. But the numbers look good and our interventions and policies are working.
Opo. From Red Mendoza ng Manila Times, ngayon pong nagbibigay na ng booster doses ang Pilipinas sa lahat ng 18 pataas. Irerekomenda ba ng DOH at IATF na irebesa ang definisyon ng fully vaccinated mula sa 2 doses sa 3 doses? Ginagawa na ito ng Singapore kung saan ang definition nila ng fully vaccinated ay 3 doses.
Well, wala pa kaming pinag-uusapan na ganyan sa IATF. Subalit, tandaan po natin na ang pinaprioritize po natin, of course, ngayon ay mabakunahan ang hindi pa naka-first dose at siguraduhin na yung mga naka-first dose ay makakapag-second dose na po. So ito yung mga pinaprioritize po ninyo ng ating IATF, pinaprioritize din po ng ating NTF, at pinaprioritize din po ng ating vaccine cluster.
Opo. Second po, third question na mo, sinabi po ni NEDA Secretary Karlo na dapat daw ang binibilang lang ng DOH case bulletins ay ang mga severe at ang mga namatay. Ikukonsidera ba ito ng IATF?
Well, we look at all the numbers para to provide us also complete context and complete picture. But of course, si Secretary Karl Chua and being a member of our economic managers is also a member ng IATF. So we obviously seriously consider yung mga inputs po ni Secretary Karl tulad ng inputs ng iba't ibang mga miyembro ng IATF. Again, necessarily dahil ito'y interagency, ay kailangan natin makuha ang inputs ng lahat ng ating mga miyembro ng IATF para makita ang entire picture and we come up with a consensus afterwards. So ito po yung process po ng IATF.
Opo. Question mula kay Mads Areso ng GMA News. Ayon po kay Bucor Assistant Secretary Gabriel Chaklag, kahapon walang PDL na may COVID. Papayagan na ba ng IATF ang face-to-face dalaw sa New Bilibid Prison?
Sa IATF po, meron din po kaming tinatawag na technical working groups. So sa technical working group po na yan, dito po sinasabit yung mga proposals ng mga ahensya ng gobyerno, especially as we are now transitioning into the new normal. So ang mabuti dyan is makita po ng technical working group po ng IATF yung proposal ng BJMP para mapag-aralan ng mabuti at mabigyan din po ng inputs mula sa iba't ibang mga ahensya ng gobyerno bago naming pagdesisyonan sa loob ng IATF. So, ganun po ang magiging proseso po niyan.
Opo. Tanong naman mula po kay Ace Romero ng Philippine Star, what is the vaccination target for the second round of mass vaccination this month? What will be done to meet if given that the government fell short of its target during the first 3-day campaign?
Well, right now, fina-finalize pa namin kung ano ba yung magiging indicative targets natin for the next 3 days. And the reason why I'm saying we are finalizing it is because syempre we have to categorize yung targets natin. Unang-una na dyan, syempre yung mga kailangan mag-second dose ay kailangan lagyan natin ng target, yung mga kailangan mag-second dose. Then of course, another target para sa mga dose na hindi pa nakapag-first dose na kailangan natin i-first dose. Then based on that also, yung nakikita natin na we have to also put up a system for walk-ins. So kailangan din po pagdating sa ground meron din po tayong gagawing sistema para sa mga walk-ins kasi hindi naman lahat ay makakapag-register online or for whatever reasons. We have to accommodate also all of the walk-ins na pupunta sa mga vaccination sites natin. So I will leave the last word to the vaccination cluster natin and to the National Task Force. But right now, we're finalizing yung indicative targets per category.
Opo. Tanong ni Maricel Halili ng TV5, how serious is the President in offering Father Austriaco the DOH post? Is he actively looking for a replacement? Does it mean that he is now willing to let go of Secretary Duque?
Alam nyo, nagsalita naman si Father Nick Austriaco kagabi, no? At ang malinaw na sinabi niya is that si Secretary Duque is doing a good job. At your government officials are doing a good job sa pag-manage ng COVID-19 at ang taong bayan, ang sambayan ng Pilipino. Lahat naman po tayo ay kasali dito. Itong tagumpay natin ay tagumpay nating lahat. No? Hindi lamang ng ganito o ganyan, pero lahat po tayo ay magkasama po tayo dito sa laban against COVID-19. So, si Father Nick was very, very clear. At ang sinabi po niya ay maganda yung nakikita nating mga numero ngayon at pinagmamalaki nga po niya ito maging doon sa United States at kung sino-sino pa man ang mga nakakausap niya. Pinagmamalaki niya po ang bansang Pilipinas. Yusek Rocky?
Opo, yung second question po ni Maricel Halili ay natanong na po ni Mela Les Moras about dun sa COVID Recovery Index. Tanong naman po nila Nes Capanti ng GMA News Online kung aware daw po kayo na complaint filed before the Ombudsman by Jensen residents against IATF on mandatory vaccination in areas with enough supply. They are saying that this is against vaccination law which states that the vaccine cards will not be considered an additional mandatory requirement for educational, employment, and other similar transaction purposes.
Opo, again, tulad ng napaka-linaw at maliwanag naman po sa ating IATF resolution, ay hindi po natin minamandate. Wala pong mandatory dyan. And again, if meron pong nag-file ng kaso, then that falls under the sub judice rule na po.
Opo. May pahabol lang pong tanong mula kay Jenna Balaoro from GMA News. Reaction daw po sana sa sinabi ni Senator Ontiveros na, I quote, "There's just seem to be a pattern of the entry of Udena Group through Dito Telecoms, through Comelec Logistics contract, and now here in Malampaya, entry into our critical industries or critical sectors of our economy. Dahil ba ito sa special friendship ni Mr. Dennis Uy kay Presidente?"
I will leave it to the respective agencies to make a statement, no? Kasi mukhang marami yata yung ahensyang tinutukoy dito, no? But I would like to assure the public na lahat po ay dumadaan sa tamang proseso ng inyong gobyerno. Lahat po yan ay dumadaan sa proseso ng iba't ibang mga agencies of government.
Opo. Thank you, Secretary Nograles.
Thank you, Yusek Rocky. Unti-unti nang bumabalik sa normal ang Pilipinas habang pababa ang COVID-19 infections. Nagsimula na kahapon sa NCR ang muling pagbubukas ng limited face-to-face classes sa Metro Manila, kasama sa gradual expansion ng una na nating pinatupad na pilot implementation. At habang papunta tayo sa new normal, nananatili ang ating panawagan, kailangan nating magtulungan. Mask, hugas, iwas, bakuna. Maraming salamat po. Ingat po lagi at God bless.